Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, as you could tell by the title and the thumbnail, there is a new Forbidden and Limited list for Master Duel. It just came out, and I know two of the cards that are potentially on this list because I saw a thumbnail from a different YouTuber, and I was like, oh, I guess I should do a video about this. I've talked extensively about this, and more specifically, the fact that currently Master Duel doesn't have a great ban list for best of ones, and I think a lot of people are complaining about that in particular. The fact that there are a lot of cards that just kind of win games individually, which in a best of 3 format doesn't matter as much, but with best of ones, which Master Duel aims to be, it doesn't really fit. So let's see if there's something that is pushing towards that. I know Konami isn't going to make this overarching massive ban list change to really fit a best of 1 format, and I'm okay with that. But there does need to be some change in that direction. Hitting powerful, important cards that just win games on their own, especially sacky one-ofs. Like, for example, I am not a big fan of Harpy's Feather Duster, even though a lot of other people do, and the reason for it is because it does the same thing to back row decks what IO does to spell decks. Like, it more or less does the same thing. Yes, there are ways to out those individual cards, but they're few and far between, and you kind of have to have them before the card arrives. Now, I don't think Harpy's Feather Duster is nearly as problematic, but that was just an example. So, let's hop into this. I'm just chatting because I don't want to look at this because I know that it's gonna be bad for some reason. Cards to be forbidden. So, immediately, before I even look at anything else, we're actually getting banned cards, which puts a huge smile on my face. Oh, they did not. Hold on. I saw Destiny Hero. Okay. 3 massive cards. 3 massive cards have been hit, which I really, really like. True King, IO, Vanities. True King, IO, and Vanities all being banned. I love that, because that is now 60 or so odd. That's like 2 new cards that I can dismantle and get. I've played both the True King and the Imperial Order, so that's pretty nice. But honestly, in like 4 out of the top 10 deck lists within the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Duelist Cup ended up playing VW True King Turbo, which is kind of sad that was how it worked. I don't even think it's the best deck in the current format. It happened to be the best one performing in Duelist Cup. And in all honesty, True King does need to be banned. IO and Vanities, again, very similarly. They're just 1 card win buttons. And the fact that combo decks can also play them is huge. Destiny Hero Celestial is terrible. There is no reason for this card to be on the list at all, period. Yes, it is on here because of DPE, but that is not the issue. The issue is Verte. If you ban Verte, most, like 90% of the decks that were, actually more than that probably, most of the decks, like 95% of the decks that were using DPE, drop it immediately. It's not worth it with Fusion Destiny limited to 2 and Verte banned to actually play DPE at that point. You're playing 2 bricks for a potential payoff of 2 other cards that, you know, if you see one of those 2 other cards, sure, you could potentially get a really good boss monster, but more often than not, you're just going to see some dead cards. And then Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. I actually don't mind this one. I think from Konami's standpoint, it does make sense. Same with Celestial, it does make sense, given the fact that both of these cards are rares, whereas the cards that are actually problematic are the ultra rares. So it does make sense. This one's just terrible, though. It makes sense, but that doesn't mean it's good. And then the Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, it does make sense, but it is kind of good. I think keeping Rongo around still is just a bad idea. It's a dumb card that shouldn't exist. It prevents gameplay from occurring. One thing that's not on here that I really wish is Skill Drain. It also just entirely invalidates a lot of decks and prevents gameplay from occurring. Yes, there are ways to play around it. Just like there are ways to play around Vanity's Emptiness. Just like there are ways to play around True King of All Calamities. Does it mean it's good? No. Date change on the 31st. Cool. Newly limited. Welcome to the OCG, ladies and gentlemen. This is literally, at this point, basically card for card with the OCG. I don't like this because it doesn't solve the issue. Crossout Designator at 1. Cool, where's Max C? That's Crossout is not the problem. Max C is the problem. This is a terrible, terrible change. Crossout Designator is by far the better card. Called by the Grave is more of an issue. If you were to hit a card that specifically deals with Max C, hit Called by, not Crossout. Crossout actually takes away from the power level of your deck because you have to play the bricks, which means if you want a higher number of valuable combo extenders, or if you want your combo to go through successfully, you're less likely to do that just because you do have to play that Crossout as well as not draw the brick, if you will. I don't really like this. I think Crossout's better than Called by, but sure. Pot of Prosperity, I actually don't mind this one. Pot of Prosperity is absolutely crazy, just in general. I don't mind this one at all. It's a little weird, but yeah, Pot of Prosperity just, banish 6 cards that you're not going to use to find that one card that gets your entire play started. Meow Meow Moo being limited to 1 does nothing. It hurts the power level a little bit of Prank Kids, but Prank Kids have a card called Prank Kids Prank, and guess what? That recycles the Meow Meow Moo to do it all over again. Sure, you're not getting the double Raigeki that you previously were, but I don't think that matters. We've seen it in the TCG how dominant it was even without, multiple Meow Meow Moos, and I don't think the change between True King and all of these other things getting banned really incentivizes anything. Fusion Destiny, why? This does nothing. This does nothing. This does not solve the issue. The issue, you can still play DPE. If your deck really needs DPE, you can still play it. Just ban Verte. Okay, cool. Why are there cards on the semi-limited list? This better be unlimits. There is no reason to semi-limit anything. Please, dear Konami. It's not going to happen, but there's definitely going to be some things on here. Oh! No way! They didn't forget Multi-Faker? Also Salamangreat Gazelle? What? No way. Okay, hold on. We're going to talk about these before we talk about these two. Also, guys, Multi-Faker could come back to 3, no problems. This is good. This means it's moving in the right direction. Konami often does this with ban lists where they semi-limit something that they think can come back to 3 just to test the waters, basically, for a format, and then be like, okay, cool, it's good, move along. Salamangreat Gazelle, however, being semi-limited with Circle also at 3 scares me. The reason for this is because Salamangreat eventually gets additional support in Heat... in Heat Soul? What is it? The new Cyberse card that just draws cards. And Salamangreat plays really well with that. And since that will come very quickly, I would imagine, this means that Salamangreat could potentially be a top-tier strategy. Is that necessarily a bad thing? No. I'm just wondering if Konami might see that and then immediately hit Gazelle back to 1. I'm not entirely certain that this is going to stick, but it's a very interesting change, and I do like it a lot. Moving on, we have Skill Drain to 2. This does nothing. Cool. Yeah, why is this not just banned? This card wins games outright. Seeing it ever so slightly less often does nothing. It doesn't solve the issue, Konami. I really don't think you understand how terrible the semi-limited list is when it comes to slight consistency nerfs. It doesn't solve the issue. Same with Fire Formation Denki. I guess this hits like Zodiac, which is kind of one of the better decks right now. It also technically hits Tri-Brigade, kind of. I don't know. This one in particular makes no sense at all. I think there was a topping deck one of the top 10 that was a Zodiac Tri-Brigade list. So it does make sense as to why within the Duelist Cup, and like with Duelist Cup in mind, hey, Fire Formation Tenki, let's probably get rid of that one, or like hit that one in, a little bit just to hit that deck. Realistically, that deck just wasn't being played. I do think that it was very strong. It wasn't being played. Why hit this? Also, semi-limiting it. What does semi-limiting it do? It doesn't do anything. At least limit it. Then it's at least doing something. Also, Night Assailant. I actually mentioned this a bunch in previous ban lists. Like, this card could come back. It's totally fine. It got an errata. Cool. Yeah, that's it. I think it's the same one. The craft bonus will be 20 ports regardless of surface finish. So basically, if you dismantle something, I think you get 30 points in total. The 20-point bonus, the 10 points from the original. So yeah, dismantle your all of these. Your Pot of Prosperities, your Meow Meow Mews, your Cross-Out Designators, which is a disgrace. And all of these fantastic cards. All in all, I actually really like this list. I know it wasn't... I knew for a fact Konami wasn't going to absolutely nuke the format, even though it did kind of need more of a hit than this. But I do like it. It is a movement in the right direction, and hopefully Konami will still see a lot of the problems that are still around, even with the ban list that they did, and continue to hit these decks. Notably, the Prank Kids stuff, the Verity Anaconda, the Skill Drain, and the like. Yeah, that's basically it. True King of all Calamities, Imperial Order, Vanity's Emptiness, you will not be missed. I just realized I didn't do my outro, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated, and if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.